When you think of retro audio, chances are you think of those Sony headphones with the wire band and orange pads. That retro aesthetic has been in vogue for a while now, so has the idea of retro audio, with people coming up with new cassette players, obviously the record player trend. But it seems like only now did the corporations making audio equipment catch on to said headphones. I'm your cool Uncle Marissa, and today I have 2 retro headphones for you, which is what I'm calling them because that's sort of what they call themselves. I feel like by calling them retro headphones, it's making it sound like they're actually old headphones, retro style headphones, but there's tons of retro style headphones, you know, like the big like computer class ones with the beige and like the whatever. But we're gonna call them retro headphones because I don't know what else to call them that's friendly. First off, let's take a look at the actual retro headphones, which if you've seen my headphone videos, you will have heard me talk about these or show these because I love them and they're perfect. And I have 2 pairs, and if I continue to come across them under 10 bucks, I will pick up more. I will hoard them and then gift them to whoever wants them once I have more than 2. Now, obviously there were several models of these orange wired headband headphones, but my favorite personally, and the one that I've ended up, is the MDR006. I'm always wanting to say like 6 or 9. Anyway, and these, the reason I love these is they feel tight and secure around my head, and the pad goes just on like my ear hole, not the entirety of my ear, just the ear hole. And so it really concentrates the sound there and down your ear canal. And it's lightweight, it's not troublesome at all. Again, it fits my small head, which is very unique and fun. And the sound, I feel like, is very, it's nothing that you're gonna write home about, but it's good, it's natural, I can hear the detail, it doesn't get distorted, it doesn't sound muddy, it's very clear. These are the headphones I use when I'm just on my computer doing stuff and listening to stuff, and I don't really care about, you know, like I wouldn't edit a video in these, but I would listen to my rough cut in these, you know? Or I'll use these if I'm playing a game with a friend online. They're wonderful. And they also beg the question, have people's heads gotten bigger? Because I did see someone who got a pair of these on Reddit a long time ago, and it really stuck with me because he was like, everyone's going on about these headphones, but they're really uncomfortable. They're really small for me, and they barely sit on my ear. Did people have that problem then? Old people sound off. And now, introducing my guests today, the younger, perhaps cooler, retro headphones. Here we have the MOONDROP Old Fashioned. And here we have the FiiO Snowsky. Snow Sky? I mean, I think it's probably Snow Sky, but Snowsky sounds much cuter. Both of these retail for $20-$25 on AliExpress. The Moondrop does some really good deals with coins. If you use AliExpress, you know what coins are. You get them by checking in, you get them by placing orders, reviews, etc. And you can use those coins to get discounts on different items. And Moondrop stores partake in those to a very generous extent. So I actually got these for $13. FiiO I also got from the coins page, but it was much less generous, and I got them for I think $17, $18. So price-wise, they are very comparable. So now let's just go through all the normal stuff. I'm gonna start with the MOONDROP Old Fashioned. The MOONDROP Old Fashioned it's got a really cool design. I really like the text and the colors on the plastic that it has. The cable is actually a 2-pin cable, so you can swap it out for a different cable, and it's, you know, not proprietary or anything like that. But the cable it comes with is this gray cable, and it also has a 90-degree angle headphone jack, which I really appreciate. I really like 90 degree. It just is a lot nicer when it comes to longevity. In terms of range of movement on these, they've got a good amount to fit your head. They're very flexible. And in terms of these pads, you can't see that. There we go. They have a nice rotation. And then it comes to the fit. So this is very unusual, my friends. Here we have a headphone for big heads. It feels very, very large on me, and I can't get the pads, like they don't flip in enough down ways to press against my ears. If it was tighter on the headband, I would get a much nicer seal. Unfortunately, that is not the case, but they look pretty good. And one thing you'll notice is that they cover the entire ear. That's an interesting one. They seem to not care about that aspect of that retro headphone. These are 40 millimeter, I believe. So they are comfortable. They are. Like, it feels light. I do feel pressure here just because since it's made for bigger heads, it does, sag down on me. But I gave them to my friend who has a big head, and she's quite happy with the comfort. In terms of sound, very surprising, though should I be surprised with Moondrop anymore at this point? They have a really nice, lows and almost has bass. It has nice clear highs. The mids are okay. Generally things sound good, but if you're listening to something which is very layered, a very complex track, it can start to sound muddy. And I'm not sure what that is, but it starts to sound a little chaotic. But for lighter tracks that maybe are more acoustic or just maybe classical music, it's a lot more pleasant. And in general, it's just a very warm and fun sound. And even though they don't clamp onto my head perfectly, I actually did my usual pressing against to see well, how would it sound if it did clamp on? And pressing them against my ears, it actually sounded a bit more muffled, in fact. So I think they do sit how they're supposed to. The only issue is just that the way that it digs into my head, because my head's not big enough to support it up. In terms of the ear pads are also really nice. They're very thick, they're not scratchy, they're very soft, and they feel really good to the touch. They've got that kind of memory foam plush feeling. I'm pretty sure they came with an extra set of them as well. I would be interested to see how they sound with different ear pads. That's always something that one can play around with. Also, on their website, this wasn't even on their AliExpress page, they talk about how these are modular, how you can just pop them off and put them on a new kind of band, and how they encourage 3D printing different bands and stuff. And that's really interesting to me because you could, I don't know, turn these into clip-ons, put them on a band that's more comfortable for a smaller head. You could do a variety of things. And the fact that they already have the 2-pin connector means changing the cable out is easy. So they do have that going for them, which is cool. However, as of recording this video and last checking, they don't actually have anything that is 3D printable provided by them. They're kind of you guys can go and do that, which is great, but I'm not someone who knows how to do that. So that's kind of at the behest of the community. So if you know of anything that's out now, I'd be really intrigued to see it. Otherwise, hopefully things will come out because that is very cool. Personally, quite like these. It's unfortunate that they're too big for me, but if you have a normal sized head or a large head and you watch my videos and you're cool, but your videos of headphones for small heads aren't going to help me, these are quite nice. I feel for 2025, especially if this is the aesthetic you're looking for, that's great. And you could even get it cheaper if you use coins on AliExpress like I did. The only thing is with these, they leak sound so bad. And I mean, You would expect it with these. I don't know why I was so surprised. I think it's because the Sony ones that I have, I think they leak less simply because since they go straight like on your ear holes basically, all of the sound is concentrated, so you don't need to turn the volume up as much. But because these cover your whole ear, there's more travel distance they have to make, so you're gonna turn it up louder, and everyone can hear you. It kind of begs the question, why are you even wearing headphones? I would not wear these outside. You know, obviously you're not gonna wear headphones like this outside just because you're gonna be able to hear everything around you. But I also wouldn't wear them out of respect for other people. So if you think that they look cool and you wanna just like wear them at your computer and like whatever, but know that what you're listening to will not be private. I think a huge A for effort here. Yeah, I mean, why not? Next, we have the FiiO Snowsky. That's what I'm gonna call it. First thing that happened as soon as I took it out of the box was one of the ear thingies, these, see, just came off. And these don't even have a page on their website about being modular. So build quality, not great. They also just feel incredibly janky. Do you hear that? That's, ooh, you don't want your headphones to sound like that. They feel really light in a bad way. The plastic feels really cheap and like, and I understand that, you know, maybe that's supposed to be a stronger mechanism to hold it in place, but the Moondrop and the Sonys don't do that and they stay in place. The cord is weird. It's rubber here and then it's fabric here. I don't know if they did that because I feel like fabric often has microphonics in that like when it rubs against things you can hear it more. So maybe they were trying to mitigate that, especially because it comes with a microphone and remote. There's no option to not have one. It didn't communicate with my iPod. Why would it communicate with like a 20, 30-year-old device? I don't know, but I checked, that's all. But the microphone was surprisingly good quality. Like it recorded my voice clearly and loudly and yeah. Anyway, we put them on. And the fit is definitely better on these for me. The pads are also smaller, so they don't cover my entire ear, but they do cover most of my ear. They're still bigger than the Sony pads. You know, I don't feel it digging because it fits perfectly fine. It's lightweight, it feels comfortable on the head. It does not have a 90-degree jack. I just thought I should bring that up. And yeah, I mean, it feels fine. Initially when I was putting it on, one of these kept falling off. It's not doing that. In terms of the pads, they're quite different than the Moondrop ones. They're very scratchy. They don't seem to have like a memory foamy effect. They're quite scratchy, so if you got these, I would recommend having a nice pair of like Yiefe ear pads or something to swap them out for, because yeah, these are not the most comfortable. They have more of a like potential ability for rotating, but they just kind of flip-flop. They don't stay like Moondrop's does. I mean, it's fine because once it's pressed against your ears, it's gonna stay in place according to how your head is set. But it's another thing that just makes them feel cheap and flimsy. They also leak sound. I think they leak sound slightly less than the Moondrop, but slightly less is not going to make you want to wear them in your crowded office. You know, you're still gonna annoy people. Sound-wise, they're not as successful with, oh, see, it just happened. And they're not even broken or anything. Like I was looking and I don't think like any of this is broken. Neither is the slot it goes into. It just happens. Also the design, just like, it's whatever. It's very clear they're trying to copy like their inspiration. The Born for Music thing is kind of cringe. So sound-wise, they're not as successful with the lows. The highs have a nice amount of clarity, but it just all kind of sounds a little tinny. I don't know. Not tinny. I actually don't know the word for it. It's like, it sounds like it's ringing. It sounds like the music is ringing, which you don't want. Why would you want that? I think that if these were like $10 or under, okay, fair enough. But at $20, especially when you have the Moondrop, like I would rather deal with those sagging on my head because they're too big than these. Also imagine wearing these out in public and just like this happens. You know, maybe they should really lean into it. They should be like, no, it's modular. It's modular, guys. Oops, I accidentally put it on upside down. Who cares? They're not the worst thing in the world. They just feel like you got them from Five Below or something. Very, very disappointing, honestly. This is actually, I think, my first FiiO product. I know they're known for their audio players and stuff more so, but I really thought they would have put some effort into this. Embarrassing. And as for the burning question I'm sure is on everyone's mind, are these better than the Sonys? To me, no. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Moondrop Old Fashioned has more bass and more low-end richness than the Sonys. But overall, they don't sound so much better than them that I would be like, oh, if someone just was like, pick one, you should pick the Moondrop. Because for me, what this style of headphone is about the lightweight, the comfort, the sort of neutral and just comfortable sound. It's not about anything being particularly special. And also, I don't really understand what situation you would be wearing these in, given that they leak so much sound. But if you want a pair of headphones like this and you have a big head, I think these are amazing. They sound good, they have the comfort of the Sonys, and also you can mod them, maybe eventually more so than now. They like look so neat. The color scheme and just the design language and stuff, it's just so neat that if you don't like it, gift it to someone else with a big head. That is all I have to say about these retro style headphones. Let me know in the comments what you thought of them. Do you have any of these? Do you want any of these? Why? Or why not? I genuinely don't know what to do with the FiiO because they're horrible. I don't understand. Do you have a pair? Did I get a dud? Because it just keeps falling apart. But also, yeah, it doesn't sound great, you know, and like, but the microphone is good. You know, that's what we're paying for, I guess. We're paying for the microphone. A huge thank you to my Ko-fi supporters. Their names are scrolling on by. If you would like game reviews and other write-ups and stuff occasionally, you can be a Nerd FiiO Advance for $2 a month on Ko-fi. I am also putting stuff on YouTube as like a backlog that you can access of the Ko-fi videos, just in case you want to, for some reason, keep everything on YouTube. However, I won't have the write-ups and stuff on YouTube, so I think Ko-fi is better, but I just figured if there is a fringe case like that. Otherwise, I'm gonna plug real quick also my cat's GoFundMe. He was in the ICU and went into a debt of $15,000 and no one will hire him, so he can't pay it back. So if you would like to throw a couple of dollars our way, that is greatly appreciated. Otherwise, a huge thank you for watching. If you like videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and do not forget that you are always welcome at Cool Uncle's house. I will see you in the next one. Bye.